Hey there, all of you Aries rising, and Aries moon people out there. This is your monthly tarot forecast for September 2021. No, I am not appearing on camera for the monthlies because there's a ton of cards here, and people like to see the cards, and you're not going to be able to see them very well if they're all mushed together. So I figured for my monthlies, I just won't appear. I appear on every other video on this channel anyway. Also, just a quick reminder, if you're watching your rising sign, remember your rising sign is giving you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign forecast is showing up. And if you're watching your moon sign is going to be giving you the less prominent, albeit still significant, side story that is playing out throughout the course of the month. And the way we're going to do this is a little bit different. As you can see, we've got kind of an bigger Celtic cross going on. We're actually going to start with the left-hand column, doing an appraisal of the month. Then we're going to go to the right-hand column, and we're going to talk about money, messages, challenges, and love, because we want this to be a comprehensive forecast. And then we're going to talk about the story of September. So let's dive in. As far as how the month is going with you versus your environment, or you and your environment, you have the King of Wands upright and the Judgment card upright. And this is going to be a month where a lot of you Aries people are going to be finding that this is your big promotion month. You are getting lifted up with that King of Wands upright into a seat of higher social prominence, higher social influence, and you are getting into a space where you're able to start directing a lot of new imperatives, really changing the way a lot of social, professional, and interpersonal sensibilities are going. You're actually going to be finding you're getting a lot more popular this month, and there's going to be a lot more awareness and support and backup for a lot of the things that you are trying to get off the ground, whether they are, specific intentions that you have, or they are things that maybe you have been trying to get more people power with, more resources for, maybe initiate some more systemic changes around your home, your working environment, all of that good stuff. You've really got the power there, because remember, the King of Wands has got the hookup, and the King of Wands always puts us in a place of having our name propagated, and that is exactly how your September is going to feel. With your environment, however, with the Judgment card, this is also going to be a time where it's sort of a month of reckoning for a lot of your social connections. A lot of long-standing stories are going to be brought to a head, and it's really showing me a month of where you are finding out where your friends are, who your friends are, and who they may not necessarily be. As we go through this huge growth spurt this month, a big part of what is occurring is that, there are going to be some moments where it may be revealed that you have to change a lot of your social setup, change a lot of your fellowship, your adventure party, your working party, in order to optimize what's around you for the best of all concerned. And also, this could be a time where you are seeing people that are passing and failing certain tests. Not like petty tests you're putting them through, but when it comes to conduct, behavior, care, devotion, consideration, who's really showing up for you? That's going to be a big story of this month as well. As we get on to the hopes and fears category, or as I just call it, future concerns, primary concerns, or the bottom line, and the overall summation of the month, we've got the Page of Pentacles upright and the Devil, or as it is in this deck, Temptation. And this month, all the way through, beginning to end, is about fixing you up for a new kind of personal and material and immaterial success, or non-material success, I should say, because the Page of Pentacles, you're going through a lot of retraining, mental retraining, professional retraining, personal retraining, maybe even a bit of health retraining, so that you are able to actually plant new seeds. You're going through this month building a completely new kingdom for yourself. But with the Page of Pentacles, this also demands a new kind of harmony. And as we are going through this, you're going to want to make sure that you are being extra careful, right? Going over everything with a fine-tooth comb so that you are setting the foundations for success properly. because you're going to have a lot of new initiations, new proposals, possibly even things like new job offers, new groups to join, new classes to take, all kinds of things that are coming to actually enhance your quality of life. You are also going to be learning a new way to actually operate and a new way to actually be the one who has all of these cool manifestations come forth into being. And we're setting you up for a completely different kind of longevity. A lot of the seeds that you're getting offered to plant throughout the course of this month are ones that are going to continue to pay off and pay out throughout the rest of the year and beyond if you integrate these shifts and you don't just kind of take them and handle them and leave them by the roadside. They're going to require some very, deliberate care and thoughtful effort. And so make sure you are participating in what comes your way. This is not a month of handouts, but it is a month of lift ups. As we get on to the devil, a big part of this month is also you needing to pay attention to where not everyone around you is going to necessarily be able to be with you as you climb up. And there may be some temptations this month to turn around and try to invest a lot of the good that is coming to you in spaces, in people, in projects that ultimately are just not in a place in their own process or in their own journey to be able to keep up. And you do not want to make the mistake of throwing all of this good in a hole. And you may have to face several tests this month yourself, especially when it comes to, okay, got this great new opportunity. I'm going to turn around and sink it into this thing that's not going anywhere. I just came into this really cool new opportunity. I get to actually start, living and mingling with people that are really complimentary to me. Don't try to then bring all of the stuff you're leaving behind with you into that new situation. You're going to have to pay attention to the things that are unhealthy or the things that maybe have been not functioning at their best from your past, recent and less recent, and make sure that you are able to detach without constantly trying to spread it around or take the good and try to make it live in that space as well. So those are some very big lessons that you're going throughout the course of this month. As we get on to the big four, money, messages, challenges, and love, we're starting at the bottom of the right-hand column. You've got the Five of Pentacles reversed for money and work and finances. And this is a month where you are going through a big catch-up, a big recovery, a big restoration period. The Five of Pentacles reversed is showing me where a lot of voids that have existed in your life, possibly for a long time, maybe even things that you have learned to live without, learned to do without, that actually would be not only necessary, but just ultimately very advantageous. Things that ultimately you still need in order to be able to achieve your goals are showing up. This could be money that you've learned to live without, training that you've learned to do without, or a role that you've learned to do without. Now we're finally getting a chance to actually take these opportunities on. I'm also seeing recovery in the sense of any professional or financial losses that you may still be kind of reeling from, or maybe had taken on in the last 2 to 4 years, are also going to be going through their reparation phase during this month. And this could be things coming back around, getting a second chance with certain things. Be careful not to get stuck in your past or get overly attached to your past. But this could be, yes, a recovery for some of you, or possibly with the Five of Pentacles reversed, an alternative, a superior alternative to something that you had and lost before. As we get on to your community, friends, relatives, other people in your life, well, you've got the Ten of Cups reversed. And it makes me think of what we just talked about with the Judgment card, which is right next door to it. You're going to find out who your friends are and who your friends are not. The Ten of Cups reversed is indicating some veils are coming down this month around who has really been there for you, what stories are true in family relationships, friendships, or maybe even family history, things like that. And as the veils come down around that, we're actually seeing things that may have been covered up, overcompensated for, and where there may actually be the roots of a certain ongoing story or a certain ongoing challenge or dysfunction that ultimately were covered up before. The roots are getting exposed. This could be something that I feel might have some very intense ripple effects for certain connections, certain relationships, especially if such an elaborate story change or an elaborate shadow in a friendship or a family situation was kind of what the family or the friendship arrangement was built on. But with the Ten of Cups reversed, it must come out, because this is an opportunity to stop doing friendship or doing family the wrong way or the unhealthy way with whoever this is coming up with. It could be multiple times or multiple spaces. It is a monthly reading. As we get on to your challenge this month, you do have the Empress reversed. And it does look like a lot of you Aries people are going to get a chance to see where a lot of challenges that you may have incurred or maybe struggles that you've been going through are actually the result of almost like an inside job kind of situation. Now, when I say inside job, I don't mean that to like spark blame and pointing fingers and things like that. But with the Empress reversed, we're having to see where something, where things in our life may be actually getting set up to fail, or things that did not work out in the past were set up to fail. Because the Empress card reversed, as you've heard me say before, is her own worst enemy. And this could have to do with a lot of situations that were either, built on faulty foundations, right, flawed from the ground up, or possibly had the wrong people, the wrong inclusions, or the wrong intentions in mind. And with the Empress reversed, we're getting a chance to clear that, right? If the roots are getting exposed, as we saw with the Ten of Cups reversed, then that also means that the roots are, able to get cut, able to be cleared. And you are clearing a lot of your roots with this card. We are purging things that are not only harmful to our intentions or harmful to our highest potential, harmful to our highest good, but we're also paying attention to where we ourselves may be our own worst enemy by choosing to include, continue, or spread around the things that ultimately need to be treated with more delicate energy or with more delicate care, and not necessarily expose them to that and those which would mistreat them. And that includes who we bring on into our life. As we get on to relationships, love, romance, and partnerships, we do have the Knight of Cups reversed, and it does look like relationships are going to be hitting a point where a reevaluation or a reinvention of the chemistry or of the couple or of the unit is going to be necessary and even crucial, because with the Knight of Cups reversed, we're seeing unhappiness that is coming from unaddressed issues, unaddressed wounds, or unaddressed frustrations starting to show up on the surface, starting to actually physicalize, right, in this reality. With the Knight of Cups reversed, I'm feeling like this could be something that's happening for both you and a partner. So it could be everybody involved is sort of feeling unhappy. They're feeling, chronically dissatisfied. It could also be that some of the triggers that come up due to the Empress reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed kind of create this sort of wake-up call. And it's a time to pay attention to where our relationship is going and what exactly the relationship is made of. Our partner as well could end up having to face things that maybe they have been covering up, overcompensating for, or maybe trying to hide from dealing with themselves, as well as their own insecurities, their own wounds, just like you, throughout the course of this month as well. And it's important to make sure that we keep an open door policy and we handle the things that come forward with a bit of ease and grace, because with the Knight of Cups reversed, it can be a very sensitive month. One minute it could be really romantic, really exciting, really passionate, and the next, we're down in the dumps. And it has to do with a need to rebalance and reportion how we devote our emotional attention to each other and what is being avoided as far as what needs to be confronted, what is being overcompensated for, what is being ignored, what is being kept, in the box, what is the elephant in the room we don't want to deal with right now. This is the month where all of that has to come up to be cleared so we can enjoy the good that's coming to us. When it comes to new people as well, pay attention to how fast things might go. Sometimes with the Knight of Cups reversed, you kind of get yourself into a situation where a person that shows up could be really, really fast as far as wanting to get into a relationship really quickly. But that is also most likely because there is some unhealed or unaddressed issue that is sort of motivating that behavior in them. It does not necessarily mean that this has to be a bad month for love. It just means that we have to use care and discernment. Sometimes what can happen is a person might treat relationships or love, affection, or attention as in sort of a medicinal way. And this is ultimately, again, because they're not getting what they need. They don't know how to fill their own cup. And so if we can work through that, take it day by day this month, see where it goes, great. However, for those of you who are not, feeling it, or you just it doesn't work for you, we always have a moon sign or, another reading to look at. So maybe also see what other options you have if you are single or available and that this is just not the way you want this to start. As we get on to the story of the month, you have the High Priestess upright crossed with the Five of Swords upright. So we are beginning the month with a reveal where something has been actively working against you, whether it's been undermining you covertly or overtly, contesting you overtly or covertly, or just reaping what you sow without even knowing, you're not even knowing what's going on. And with the Five of Swords and the High Priestess, yes, this does look like it's calling back to that Ten of Cups reversed, Empress card reversed kind of energy, where we are seeing something that we have kept in our space actively going out of the way to work against us. But with the High Priestess upright, we are getting the reveal as to who it is, why they're doing it, and what we can actually do about it. And as far as how this comes about, how this comes forth into being, well, we've got the King of Pentacles upright and the Two of Cups reversed. Now, interestingly enough, I don't see the King of Pentacles as the one who's doing the problem. I actually think that the King of Pentacles is coming in as either the one doing the revealing, or perhaps it's through some kind of assistance that they give you, because the King of Pentacles does seem to be giving you one of the big leg up energies that we talked about earlier, where they may be sharing their own resources, sharing their own knowledge, sharing their own territory with you, because the King of Pentacles already has what you're looking for, has already achieved what you're trying to get. And so they may be taking you under their wing. They may be lifting you up in that respect, training you, nurturing you, really coming in as this stalwart standing fast. But at the same time, it could be through these very kind actions of the King of Pentacles that we actually see where the sabotage, intentional or unintentional, is going on by comparison, right? You bring in all of this positivity, you bring in all of this love and this generosity from him, the King of Pentacles, may not be a male, but you get all of this generosity and care from the King of Pentacles, and then all of a sudden, what isn't working that we've been working with so far becomes all the more apparent by comparison. And that is what leads to what we're getting rid of this month, the Two of Cups reversed. And so we are getting rid of a fractious connection. We are getting rid of a fractious relationship, or maybe a fractious commitment, a fractious partnership. This could appear in a number of different capacities, so it's not reserved to one category of life. This could be a situation where people are actively working against each other because they want completely different outcomes. It could be that maybe somebody that you're working with, whether it be a partner, a friend, a family member, it is maybe averse to change, isn't really trying to grow, and so they're kind of trying to stall something that you're working on. It could be that they want to work as well, but they're creating a completely different timeline and trying to go in a completely different direction. And so long as we stay in this tug of war, nobody's getting anywhere. But with the Two of Cups reversed, we're either mending the situation or we are going our own ways. And that's going to be one of the big stories throughout the month. As far as how the middle to the end of the month goes, we've got the Emperor card upright, and then we close up with the Ace of Wands upright. Regardless of what's going on, you are getting the lift. You are getting this big life promotion treatment this month. And with the Emperor card upright, you're coming into again, a very strong position of power, but I'm also seeing you starting to connect with people that have the power, have the resources, and have the connections to actually give you their power so that you can hold a similar position to them. Now, this could be something that is going on in your community or something that is happening where maybe even if you're not getting formally lifted up in such a way, you are having these very influential people, these very influential forces using their power on your behalf. And that is also going to be, of course, sending out these very positive collateral effects, propagating your good name, as we saw with the King of Wands, and really putting your name out there, and maybe even overturning and overriding things that ultimately have been on your back for far too long. Now, with the Emperor card, it's very likely that this could be one and the same as the King of Pentacles, or this could be somebody new, but you are going to want to keep in mind that you are going through this so you can be elevated to this position yourself. You are not along for the ride. And that leads us to the end of the month with the Ace of Wands upright, where a lot of dreams, aspirations, opportunities that you have been forced to sit on, that you've been made to feel that you have to wait on, that have not been given the opportunity to pick up any traction or even get out the gate, are starting to move. And a lot of moving parts are getting accelerated as well. So if there are things that you've been trying to create, things that you've been trying to initiate for yourself, your family, your job, your career, the Ace of Wands is bringing a great deal of dynamism to the second half, the back half of September, which is ultimately launching all of these things forth into being, no longer having to sit patiently in some kind of container. Everything is starting to not only pick up a lot of speed, catch a lot of enthusiasm, but they're also starting to substantiate physical and consistent changes throughout all of your environments. And it could very well be that the waiting period being over, we're claiming a lot of our prizes and a lot of our desires in a much shorter period than we would have had to work with before if we got to start things at the time that we wanted to. Very, very interesting end of the month. So that's what I've got for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.